The cast for the Super Mario Bros. Movie has been revealed, and it is quite interesting to say the least. With the likes of Chris Pratt as Mario, Jack Black as Bowser, and Seth Rogen as DK? Unlike the games, the upcoming animated film from Illumination is going to rely heavily on voiced dialogue. As expected. It's not like you can make a feature-length animated film with Paper Mario-style speech bubbles, although that would be ambitious. The question we have now is, who exactly are all of them? And are they cut out to play these iconic characters? So we decided to do some research to find out more about the cast behind the Mario movie and what exactly they've done before, including the writers, directors, and producers of the movie to find out if they have what it takes to adapt this beloved franchise onto the big screen. Super Mario Bros. The movie is being directed by two people, Aaron Horvath and Michael Jelenic. Uh-oh. You know what other movie had two directors? Only kidding, it's fairly common for animated films to have more than one director. What's more important is what these directors have done before. Aaron Horvath has worked as a character designer and animator since 2003, making his directorial debut on the animated Mad TV show as a segment director for 28 episodes, until transitioning to Teen Titans Go as a producer, writer, and director. This led to his first feature film, Teen Titans Go to the Movies, which he produced, wrote, and directed alongside a crew of others. His co-writer for this movie was Michael Jelenic, who is now co-director of the Super Mario Bros. Movie. He also worked on Teen Titans Go with Aaron Horvath as a writer who has experience writing and producing other animated projects, including some DC animated films, 2 Thundercats shows, and his top credit is a hit show Batman the Brave and the Bold. So Aaron Horvath and Michael Jelenic have worked on some well-received animated shows and movies, and the Super Mario Bros. Movie might just be their biggest project to date. Given their past experience, this movie might be in good hands. If it doesn't turn out well though, then the voice actor for Toad might have something to say to one of them.
You done messed up, Aaron!
But a movie is nothing without a screenplay, and that's where writer Matthew Fogel comes in. His first IMDb credit was being the assistant to the directors of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Those directors were Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who then wrote and directed the Lego Movie. Fogel must have been a great assistant because he was then tasked with writing the story of the Lego Movie 2, the second part. Now he's writing 2 screenplays for Illumination, one of them being the Mario movie, and the other the Minions sequel, The Rise of Gru. The only other time he's written a screenplay for a feature film was for Big Mama's Like Father Like Son. Honestly, this part shouldn't matter too much because some screenwriters have written awful scripts and then redeemed themselves later with something great. It's safe to say that the reason he's getting more work is because of his work on the Lego Movie 2, and with the right production team and directors overseeing the script, the Mario movie's story could turn out well. Next are the producers themselves, one of which is the creator of Mario, Shigeru Miyamoto. Obviously, with him being the father of Mario, he'd naturally want some creative control over the movie, and it seems he has been heavily involved in the production. And as it turns out, he already has some experience with animated films, having produced the Pikmin short movies back in 2014. They're cute and charming in their own ways, but a feature-length animated film with voiced dialogue is way different than short movies with no dialogue, so it'll be interesting to see how he handles his first huge animated release. Then there is Chris Meledandri, the CEO of Illumination and therefore producer on all Illumination projects, including the Super Mario Bros. Movie. And just recently, he joined Nintendo's board of directors as an outside director who would help Nintendo navigate the landscape of feature films, which seems to show Nintendo's confidence in his abilities. Meledandri has worked in the film industry since 1984, and has worked on a number of films outside of Illumination, including Ice Age, Robots, and Horton Hears a Who. Even though he's produced every movie at Illumination, he might be taking the Mario movie more seriously than any of the other projects to date, given that Mario is a huge worldwide IP. Plus, the movie was announced in January 2018 with a release date of holiday 2022. Chances are, he spent this time working with Nintendo to figure out how to make this movie the best it can be. Let's hope. Now then, let's get to this voice cast. Starting with the big mustachioed man himself, Mario, voiced by Chris Pratt. Even though he's been a working actor for the past 20 years, his launch to stardom arguably began as the lovable dork Andy Dwyer in Parks and Recreation.
When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. I read that once on a can of lemonade.
Since then, he's landed more comedic roles and then became an action star with Guardians of the Galaxy and Jurassic World. So he's got the hero part down for Mario, but does he have the voice acting chops to match? Pratt has been in numerous animated films, most notably the Lego Movie 1 and 2 as the happy-go-lucky Emmett. He also made his Pixar debut last year in Onward as the older of two brothers in a fantasy world filled with mushrooms. Wait a second, maybe Chris Pratt really is perfect for this role. Anyway, he clearly has some fitting voice acting experience under his belt. However, is Pratt going to sound like Pratt while playing Mario? He never changed his voice for any of his animated roles, so will he do the same here? Well, last week, he took to Instagram talking about his experience playing Mario Bros. As a kid and threw in there that he's been working on the voice for the movie. This might mean that he's going to try and do something different instead of just sounding like himself. Will he put on a family-friendly Italian accent? We'll just have to wait and see. Then there is Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach. This is an interesting casting decision because this will be the actor's first time in an animated movie, and she's primarily been a serious actor in her short but successful career, with starring roles in The Witch, Split, and the Netflix limited series The Queen's Gambit.
Is it against any rule for me to be in the open?
Not exactly.
Put me in the open.
Needless to say, Peach will be quite a unique character for her. Although she hasn't previously been in an animated film, she lent her voice to the puppet Bria in Netflix's Dark Crystal Age of Resistance series. The question now is if she'll try to make her voice higher pitched for the role. No matter what though, it'll never be as high pitched as Charlie Day's, who will be portraying Luigi in the movie. Charlie Day was made famous by his highly offensive and hilarious show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which he stars in alongside a group of his friends. Since then, he's been in a slew of comedic films as starring and supporting roles, including a few voice roles in animated films like the Lego Movies and Monsters University.
Yeah, me neither. I don't want to get too big.
However, Charlie Day's biggest strength is that he's actually Italian. If anyone can do a convincing Italian accent, it's gotta be him.
What is your spaghetti policy here?
It also wouldn't be surprising if his signature high-pitched voice was part of the reason why he was cast as Mario's more nervous and cowardly brother. Maybe he'll get a poltergust in the film to suck up some ghouls, ghosts.
Ghouls?
Then there is the villain of the series, Bowser, played by none other than Jack Black himself. For the past 30 years, Jack Black has proven himself to be one hilarious dude. Starting with supporting roles in films like Mars Attacks, and then starring in movies like School of Rock, Nacho Libre, and Kung Fu Panda. That last role is important because it goes to show just how experienced Jack Black is as a voice actor.
That was awesome! Let's go again!
Not only has he lent his voice to numerous animated features, but he's been in video games as well, thanks primarily to Tim Schafer and his team at Double Fine, casting him in their games Brutal Legend, Broken Age, and most recently, Psychonauts 2. Jack Black is a bona fide lover of video games, starting his own gaming vlog channel on YouTube, and also, the man was in an Atari commercial in 1982. He has definitely earned his place in a video game movie, and he might just be perfect for Bowser, who is a towering behemoth.
I regret the time that I got high and wrote a hit song and it made me insane amounts of coin. Coin I used to buy more drugs.
Jack Black has made a career out of voicing giant characters with equally giant personalities thanks to his tremendous voice that he uses for dialogue, as well as singing with his band Tenacious D. Needless to say, we hope Bowser has a musical number in this movie. Next is Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. This comedian got his start as a writer and performer on Mad TV, but he was made all the more famous thanks to his sketch comedy show Key and Peele, where he and Jordan Peele wrote and performed hilarious sketches.
Liam Neeson is my shiznit!
Since then, he's had almost countless roles in movies and television, including voice roles for Hotel Transylvania, Angry Birds, and Bob's Burgers.
Welcome to our new friends, the pigs. Let us have a celebration.
Keegan-Michael Key is known for his expressive and high-energy comedy, which makes his role as Toad intriguing. Toads are usually just there to help Mario by giving him information. They do get up to some wild things, but they're not exactly high-energy characters that bounce off walls. The question now is if Toad will have a personality similar to what he has in the games, or if he'll be written with Keegan-Michael Key in mind. The bigger question though is if there will be more than one Toad and if he's going to voice them all, as Toads generally share the same voice in the games. That would kind of be awesome.
Timothy.
Present.
Thank you.
Then there is Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, and yes, I know you can already hear that laugh. Seth Rogen is known for a ton of comedic films such as Pineapple Express, This Is the End, The Interview, as well as some voice work on Horton Hears a Who, Kung Fu Panda, and yeah, Sausage Party. Given his deep, bassy voice and his goofy attitude, he pretty much has what it takes to play Donkey Kong. Chances are, he'll sound mostly like himself with very little change to his voice, but that might work in this case, given that DK never really spoke outside of the Donkey Kong animated series. Yeah, something tells me the animation in the movie will be a little better than this. Then there is this trio of actors playing what appear to be smaller roles. Keegan-Michael Richardson is playing Comic, and he has been a prominent voice actor for 30 years, with 542 credits on IMDb, with his most notable works being Goro in the Mortal Kombat 1995 film, and Captain Gantu in Lilo and Stitch.
You stand before this council, accused of illegal genetic experimentation.
It's funny that he's playing Comic because this enemy isn't known at all for having a deep, menacing voice, so it'll be fun to hear him have one in the movie. Fred Armisen is playing Cranky Kong, and he's known for his comedic work on Saturday Night Live and Portlandia. This role might be a small one, and chances are Fred Armisen might just do an old voice for the role. Again, I hope there's a musical number.
You say you gotta be young to rock, but Cranky's gonna show you how to walk the walk.
Playing Foreman Spike is Sebastian Maniscalco, a stand-up comedian with a few roles in film such as Green Book, The Irishman, and Tag. What's most interesting is that he's playing Foreman Spike, a character from Wrecking Crew. So far, this is the most obscure character in the Mario movie, and the fact that he's being played by Maniscalco means he's probably going to be a tough guy. Only natural for a Foreman. Finally, we have to conclude with the one who needs no introduction, the real voice of Mario himself, Charles Martinet. And he's not just the real voice of Mario in the games, but Luigi and much of the rest of the Mario crew as well for nearly 30 years now. So it's great to see that he's going to play a series of cameos in the movie. What kind of cameos, though? The first possible one that comes to mind are Wario and Waluigi. He plays them in the video games, so it would be great to see him portray them on film. Still, it would be great to hear him play other characters, even if they're original ones. Charles Martinet has been a working actor since the 80s, appearing in films like 9 Months and The Game. He also has an incredible range as a voice actor, playing Gimli in one of the Lord of the Rings games, and Parthenax the Dragon in Skyrim.
Dremyolok, greetings, Wundernik. I am Parthenax.
How great would it be for Charles to flex his voice acting muscles in the Mario movie, playing someone other than Mario and Luigi? And that was a deep dive of the cast and crew of Super Mario Bros. The movie. Does anyone stand out to you as particularly interesting? Let us know in the comments below, and check out the videos on the right for more topics that you might be interested in. Until next time, bye.